think someone who's saying that they wanted to take their wedding vows really seriously would focus more on the union that they're having rather than trying to push this notion of what they think brides should or should not look like on their wedding day.
When Olivia Culpo, former Miss Universe and social media darling, tied the knot with NFL star Christian McCaffrey on June 29th, little did she know her wedding dress would become the talk of the town, and not for the reasons one might expect.
I have been a bridal creator for 4 years now, and I have never said this before, but I do not like this wedding dress.
In a world where less is more often rules the red carpet, Culpo zigged where others would have zagged. Her choice? A Dolce & Gabbana creation that could be described as modesty personified, complete with long sleeves and a high neckline.
Olivia tied the knot with fiancé Christian McCaffrey in her home state of Rhode Island, dressed in a custom and surprisingly traditional Dolce & Gabbana bridal gown with a crew neckline, long sleeves, and zero embellishment whatsoever.
Speaking to Vogue, because where else would a celebrity bare their sartorial soul, Culpo explained her vision. I didn't want it to exude sex in any way, shape, or form. One can almost hear the collective gasp from the fashion police.
I wanted it to feel effortless and as if it's complimenting me, not overpowering me. There's so much beauty and simplicity.
How dare she not want to exude sex in her own wedding with her own dress?
When I think about Christian and what he loves and the moments that he thinks that I'm the most beautiful, it's absolutely in something like this. Timeless, covered, and elegant.
Why is he thinking that you're the most beautiful when you're covered? That's such an odd thing.
I think many men can relate.
The moments that he thinks that I'm the most beautiful, it's absolutely in something like this. Timeless.
Her move could have been labeled as anti-clickbait, or it should have been. Culpo chose a dress that left everything to the imagination, yet somehow became the internet's favorite new obsession. The dress was too damn modest. Can you believe that? In 2024, we're clutching our pearls over excess fabric.
Like this dress, for example, if I were to just look at the dress, I would see a beautiful bride in a beautiful, simple, elegant dress. If we stopped there at just the way the dress looks, we'd really have nothing to say. But it's all the stuff surrounding the dress that leaves kind of a bitter aftertaste.
What does she have to be, Sydney Sweeney on her wedding day with watermelons shaking all over the place? Does she have to be Michaela Peterson, centering a photo on her cleavage while cropping out the face of her baby?
This was a conservative campaign, and it wasn't even well done. Olivia Culpo is a huge influencer. People were waiting for her wedding dress for like so long. And if you really wanted to push a conservative agenda, all you had to do was make it seem appealing. But instead you took this disingenuous pick-me route that honestly felt more like you were thinking about your narrative than you were about your actual marriage.
Kennedy Bingham has entered the chat, aka Gown-Eyed Girl, a fashion critic extraordinaire, argued that Culpo's comments pushed a conservative agenda because apparently in 2024, covering up is the new form of rebellion. What do you think? Should brides prioritize other people's expectations for their own comfort? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Bingham pointed out the contrast between Culpo's usual skin-bearing style and this sudden embrace of modesty.
I also just think it's so weird how much she talks about coverage, especially as someone who in her day-to-day life is not exactly a modest dresser. She even says that her husband thinks she's the most beautiful when she's timeless, covered, and elegant. I just think the usage of the word covered is so icky because you are not covered in day-to-day life.
It doesn't matter if Culpo wears two pieces every single day. Maybe the days that she's off are the days where she's wearing the two pieces. Brown-Eyed Girl, the fashion critic, didn't criticize her for wearing the two pieces every day. She criticized her for being humble on her wedding day. Not to mention, Culpo never said anything about other brides or dress styles. She was just talking about her own preferences. So why did Bingham and others lose their minds over it? Here's a wild thought. Could it be that they're projecting their own hang-ups onto Culpo's words? In psychology, they call this projection. It's when you take your own thoughts or feelings and slap them onto someone else. So when Bingham freaks out about Culpo's, quote, conservative agenda, maybe Bingham's really wrestling with her own complex feelings about modesty and wedding fashion. Plot twist, could Bingham secretly respect or even agree with Culpo's choice. The lady doth protest too much, methinks. The plot thickened when Bingham brought up Dolce & Gabbana's controversial past. Dolce & Gabbana has a history of making statements that have been controversial, particularly to those with more progressive views. In 2015, Domenico Dolce referred to children born through IVF as synthetic children and stated, quote, "We oppose gay adoptions. The only family is the traditional one." This led to calls for boycotts from highly talented but weirdo celebrities like Elton John. After the internet did what it did best, argue and complain about something that had nothing to do with them, McCaffrey rushed to his new wife's defense faster than he runs on the field. He commented on Bingham's video, calling it evil, and said he hopes she finds joy the way my beautiful wife does. Perhaps the most shocking truth behind Olivia Culpo's bridal look is that we're still shocked by personal choices in 2024. At least it gives us something to talk about between dissecting candidates' gaffes and predicting the next global crisis. Has social media gone too far in critiquing personal choices? Share your take, hit subscribe for more cultural and political commentary with a twist.
Middle MAGA.